Hey YouTube people, what's happening? Blessings and greetings in the mighty name of King Jesus, our soon coming King. And I just wanted to talk about a real topic. I know a lot of people have already covered this topic, but I just wanted to give my opinions on it as well. You know, I've been saying it for years and stuff, but I never knew that I wasn't the only one who thought about these things. And what I'm directly talking about is the deception of the church towards women and the encouragement of the church towards the negative behavior of women. Now, I'm gonna be honest and say that there are a lot of true pastors out there that speak against women when they do stuff wrong and, you know, things like that. And so this is not for those pastors. This is not for every pastor, because not every pastor is a false preacher or false prophet, as the Bible talks about, right? But this is about like the false prophets and the false churches and the deceivers. This one is for them. And the reason why I say this is because that a lot of churches don't speak truth to women. And this is why you have a lot of single women in society. The church deviates from the truth. The church moves away from the truth and goes into convenience of spirit and feelings. And when you go into convenience of spirit and feelings, the problem is that a lot of people are not going to get convicted and they're not going to change their ways. Now, what am I talking about? Okay, here's what I'm talking about. Since I was growing up, I've noticed that the church was always more filled with women than it was filled with men. And that the men that were married and in the church, they were a set of pansies. And when I say pansies, they were weak-minded. The wives treated them like they were some kind of, I don't know, like the wives talked to them any way. I mean, there were a few guys that, you know, really strong-minded men, and you could definitely tell that these men ran their households and stuff like that. But like other men in the church that I saw, they were really pansies to their wives. It's like if their wives said jump, they would say how high. And that would tell me something, that these men didn't really serve God in the way that they were supposed to serve God. Because when you serve God, a woman, you will let a woman know what her place is in the relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, now, my thing is this, right? The church has deceived many women, and more so even black women in general. And why I say this? Why do I say this? The church has encouraged black women to behave negatively in society and have them believe that at the end of the day, when they're all used up, when they're all done, when they're all finished, when they have nothing at all to offer any man in society, that it's okay, you will find a man, you will find a good man, and that any man that doesn't want you is not a man of God. I realize that the church has also contributed to the destruction of the family and the destruction of the role of a man, knowing full well that it is not interchangeable, but it encourages the disrespect of men and their roles in society. Now, alright, you ever go to church sometimes and they talk about, you know, how women behave and stuff like that, and like how their wives behave around them, and you ever see how they behave in such a cringe-full manner where they say like, you know, when my wife act a certain way, I just basically shut up and go into the corner? I've always seen that. So that what that tells you is that indirectly what they're telling women is that when you get a husband, you can do whatever you want, because either way he's gonna have to cringe and go into the corner. Right? So when women come into church now, They also disrespect men with Bible verses. Right? And I've seen this a lot in memes and everything like that. Where they say things like, don't be with no broke ass, no dead ass, or whatever it is. Wait for your Boaz. Right? Okay. Alright. A woman should wait for her Boaz, right? But most of these women don't act like a Ruth. Right? You talk about waiting for Boaz, but you have a lot of women not waiting for no Ruth. Not acting like no Ruth. Right? They act like the whoredom of Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? Every single man getting a touch out of that pie. Every man getting a slice out of that pie. Right? Why does the church never talk about stuff like this? I realize that we bash men. We bash men a lot, but we never bash women. The church doesn't bash women unless it's a true pastor. Him take the sword to everybody. Right? That is what a true prophet is. A true prophet, a true disciple of Christ. Takes the sword to everybody and is not biased against anybody. You understand? The sword is for everybody. The sword, everybody is supposed to be feeling the sting of that sword. Not just one gender. Not the propping up of one gender and the discouraging of one. You understand what I'm saying? The church is a very big deception to women. Right? It makes women feel okay that they can make the most wrong decisions in life and still have the best things in life without consequences. The church doesn't preach about consequence anymore. Right? It's okay, live your life and then come to God. Everything will be alright. You won't have to live a consequence. Right? So I have a problem with that. I have a problem with a church that doesn't preach about consequences for decisions. For irresponsible decisions. You know what I mean? I have a problem with a church that doesn't preach that. Right? They always bash men, but they never bash women. Why? Because women are the main attendees in church nowadays. They pay their tithe, they pay their offerings, etc., etc. You know what I mean? And so they can't bash women because, you know, they will lose women. So rather than tell the truth, they lie to women. It's okay to do what you want to do in life. You can be a whore, you can be a bad wife, you can be whatever it is that is against even God's law for how you should be behaving in society. You know, this is church. You do whatever you want to do. You understand? You can dress like a whore, dress all voluptuous and sexual inside the house of God. God don't mind. You understand? We don't bash women enough. We don't hold women accountable enough in life. They need to be held to a standard, especially when it comes to God. God has a standard, and the people of God are supposed to be holding the people who are visiting the house of God to a standard that is of God. It don't matter the gender. It don't matter the feelings. We are to hold people to a standard. You understand what I'm saying? So, my next point is this: is that alright? You know, I've been saying earlier, like I was saying, basically, you know, bad decisions in life and stuff like that, and then come to church. What I'm really talking about is the women who go out there and, you know, they know directly that what they're doing is wrong, like how they choose their men, like sleeping with a bunch of men, right? Getting the STDs, having children out of wedlock, having multiple children out of wedlock, and then turning around and coming to church and then wanting God to fix that. Wanting God as if God is some kind of simpleton. And that's what I hate about the church. The church portrays God as a simpleton. Right? Portrays God as a simpleton. I don't believe these women are genuine in how they feel sorrowful about the decisions that they've made in life when they come to church. They're coming to church because they know that there are good men that come to church. There are men who seek God who come to church, who just want to be of God. Now, if a man so chooses not to deal with a woman who has many kids, there's nothing wrong with that. That is perfectly of God for him to have a choice to not deal with a woman with baggage. You understand? Anybody that tells you, say, if you don't deal with a woman who has a child that's in church, and them think that you are not of God because the love of God is not in you. Oh, shut the hell up. What do you know about the love of God? The love of God chastens those whom he loves. The love of God holds people accountable for their decisions in life. The love of God has consequences for the bad moves you make in life. So you people need to shut the hell up about any man that don't want to deal with a woman who have like 5, 6 kids, or 3, 4 kids, or 7 kids, or even any man that doesn't want to deal with a woman who has a child is wrong, right? These people are stupid, man. And it's I don't even know, it's so pathetic that you have other men who are forcing single men who don't have kids to date women who have made very poor decisions, very poor judgment, had multiple kids by multiple men, or had a child by a deadbeat man, and want that man who has not messed up his life to go and mess up his life with a woman who has messed up her life. Right? And that is the hypocrisy I'm talking about. The destruction of men. Right? So, we have this thing where we're allowing women to make the decisions that they want to make in life, but we don't allow men to make the decisions that they want in life. Right? So, looking at it right now, the problem with our society is we've gone away from God in general, because I realize that a lot of people don't read the Word of God. A lot of people don't read the Bible. If they did, half of the things that they said, they wouldn't be saying right now. Half of the things that these people are claiming right now that is of God, if they really read the Word of God, they would realize that none of what they are saying has anything to do with God. And as a matter of fact, is in contrast to God, is opposite to God. So these people need to stop filling themselves with some deception and lies. And women who have hit the wall, women who have made very stupid decisions in life and have gone to church in the hopes of finding a good man, should understand that good men don't want used up women. And they don't deserve used up women either. They deserve to have a woman that is on their level. If they didn't mess up their life, they deserve to have a woman that didn't mess up her life. If they preserve themselves, they deserve to have a woman who preserves herself. That is equality right there. That is what I think God would want for any man in life. You understand? Anyway, that's just my 2 cents, people. Take care. Have a nice day.